governments. So the purpose of this program, Your Excellency, is just to discuss issues of professionalism and good governance in a political context. They have achieved almost half of what they are supposed to achieve. So without much ado, I want to mention that the Institute is in discussion, as I mentioned. I'm the current Chief Executive Officer, Institute of Certified Secretaries. Just for the benefit of those who may not have interacted with the Institute.
Let the President choose his deputy, please. I picked on Kiambu. Madam.
Of the mini programs, Your Excellency, where the Institute has been actively engaged in various sectors just to promote the practice of good government.
When I told to come after 5 minutes, I hope your watches that are running, if yours is not running, use your smartphones. So that
particularly the move on motion, because in the County Public Service, in the Intergovernmental Relations Act, we have Council of Governors.
Development of such. So, Your Excellency, we are honored to have you. The participants here, as I have mentioned,
counties also their well-being is well taken care of, and part of it is mental health. We will have one of
program are well trained on matters governance, and they will be happy to support your institutions at the county level. The other thing that the institute does in regard to their promotion of governance, their practices, the policies they have put in place, and we give them award or rank them based on.
I'm on silent mode. It's already on silent mode. Kumbe people have been even trying to reach me. Ground rule of organizing meetings. Do you run meetings from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. in the night? Is that the best practice? We will have also our CEO to.
Let's change the height. Of state corporations, board members who have recently been appointed, in which the program we had this February, we had
of this cohort, this convention. Kuna mtu na visions kama mimi. For me, I cannot be one. So, yes. When they propose, what do they say in the county assembly? There is a God. Oh, is.
of course, the party is there.
Do you want to choose your deputy president?
Well, presidents must.
It is common knowledge that county public service boards, which are appointed by the executive and approved by the county assembly, wield considerable power over hiring, promoting, and disciplining employees at the county public service level. The County Governments Act number 17 of 2012, which specifies your duty under sections 49 to 86, highlights the critical role you play in maintaining the principles of meritocracy, accountability, and openness in our public institutions. Where there is a requirement for independence in decision-making, county government officials, especially CPBSs, must manage the executive expectations as well as the county assembly's examination of devolved unit governance. Therefore, while we attempt to investigate ways of reaching this balance, the theme of this convention, quote unquote, professionalism and good governance in a political context, is appropriate. As we discuss the problems and possibilities that our county governments face, let us reaffirm our shared commitment to preserving the highest ethical standards and advancing good governance practices. We must guarantee that our officers have the appropriate tools, resources, and assistance to be able to carry out their responsibilities successfully and transparently. Notwithstanding these achievements, there are still certain problems that need to be resolved and improved for both the national government and county administrations. Every aspect of our society is impacted by the knock-on effects of bad governance, which range from election malpractice to the weakening of institutional autonomy. Widespread accusations of corruption, resource mismanagement, and discriminatory employment practices exposed in recent publications cast a pall over the values of openness, responsibility, and justice that ought to guide our public institutions. CIC National Cohesion. According to the report, 1,280 of the 53,000, and now I've run out, of the 53,599 instances that were referred to the Kenya National Examinations Council had their certificates confirmed to be fake, and further verification is anticipated to raise this figure. Is the NCIC 2023 audit report, which reviews concerning patterns in employment diversity among Kenya's 47 counties. Only 10 tribes account for nearly 80% of county employment, while 29 other tribes, call them communities, account for just 1% of county work prospects. According to the research, the number of counties complying with national recruitment standards has decreased from 21 in 2016 to just 13 as of 2022. And therefore, it's even worse when it comes to hiring members of our defense forces. As a practicing CS, let me tell you and be open with you, friends, that if you mess up with the composition of a country's national defense forces, you have created a problem that will be impossible to cure, particularly in our region. US truly has been involved in trying to help our countries in the neighborhood to get life back on course. As we speak, there's a huge conflict in the DRC, itself a recent member of the East African community. I'm told that the city of Goma may fall, it may not fall. It has a lot to do with the country's ability to guard its borders. Particularly perturbed the recent efforts at employing Kenyans who go out there, wanatolewa nguo, wanatoa shati, wanakimbia, and only to discover recruitment has happened in Nairobi. And kule kwa villages, there's nothing. And parents are there. That you want your child to become a member of the KDF, you have to part with 700,000 Kenyan shillings. That is how bad things are. Bad governance. Even at that level. Chairman, I can tell you that I'm particularly perturbed. The recent efforts at employing Kenyans who go out there, wanatolewa nguo, wanatoa shati, wanakimbia, and only to discover recruitment has happened in Nairobi. And kule kwa villages, there's nothing. And parents are there. That you want your child to become a member of the KDF, you have to part with 700,000 Kenyan shillings. That is how bad things are. Bad governance. That you bear enormous obligations on behalf of Kenyans, must not take your responsibilities lightly. As professionals, particularly in governance, it is incumbent on us and on you to play an effective role in ensuring the presence of robust governance frameworks in our respective counties in order to promote accountability and transparency across all devolved activities. It is worth mentioning, and now you get confused by politicians. Because now, as it is, county public service boards have to defer to the county governments, to the county governors, the governors themselves, if the governor is unhappy with you as county public service boards, you end up trembling. You don't even feel, am I talking to somebody? If that is not the practice, you have the lucky ones. You know, when we sat at the end of the day to try to conclude on the agenda item number 1 and the National Dialogue Committee, high cost of living, we could not understand. We could not even agree. And I'm quite sure Kenya Kwanza Coalition meeting here in Naivasha are themselves feeling it, but they don't want to say it. They don't want to say it because the chief executive tells them, you must toe the line. I got you elected. I got you elected. I'm not introducing politics to this forum, but the political context, Chairman. Because you're operating within a political context. And William Ruto has even declared this country visa-free. So watch out for others who may come from very difficult destinations to come to our country. But Kenyans themselves must of necessity do what you're doing. It has often been said that corruption has been devolved. That is my challenge to you. Are you then going to oversee situations where corruption is devolved to the county level? And what does that mean to professions as dignified and as honorable as the Institute or certified secretaries?
Boards are going through a heavy challenge of financial independence. Normally, we rely on funding from the executive wing of government of counties, and some of the boards may be going through difficulties. The law that formed the body, although it assumed boards would be independent, that aspect of financial independence was overlooked. And from the few interactions now, we are of the opinion that boards would function better and more professionally than they are currently if they were financially independent.
Our institute, Your Excellency, aims at continuously promoting good governance. And that's why we have got very many capacity building programs like the Secretary and the CEO has mentioned that aim at raising the standards of good corporate and institutional governance. And therefore, from the Institute point of view, we deal with governance, good governance, promotion of good governance. And we can always go further and articulate on the 9 parameters that are used in measuring